In our previous module, we have discussed the project life cycle and SDLC model of software engineering in detail. Today, we will discuss about the software requirement specification, which we in short says SRS document. SRS document is nothing a type of official documentation which is used between the customer or the software developer client to document the requirements, objective, hardware and software requirements, interfaces, and what are the scope of the project, overall the guide or the criteria in what way the software project is going to be developed, project perspective, and overall the project plan. So here it is, the definition of SRS is written that SRS is nothing but the official statement of what the system developer should implement. The system software developer who is going to develop the software for the customer, in what way he is going to develop, in what way to operate the system is going to be developed, and what are the ways to what we say to operate that particular software, is everything is mentioned in that SRS document. SRS is a complete description of the behavior of the system is to be developed. The nature and stepwise sequence of all the purpose and criteria of the software is mentioned in the SRS document. SRS should include both the definition of the user requirements and the specifications of the system requirements. Moreover, it also includes the non-functional, functional, and hardware and software requirements of the software. SRS fully describes what the software will do and how it will be expected to perform. The purpose of SRS document is it consists of the information of the software product which is going to be built. It consists of the requirements of the software which is going to be developed, which helps in the proper coding, testing, and manipulation of the software. It provides feedback of the customer. In software project development, when a software developer team meet or have a meeting with the customer side, then it gather the feedback of the customer in the SRS document to make the software quality assurance, to ensure the software product is going to make to satisfy the customer needs and what are the overall requirements of the customer. It's effectively manipulated or implemented in the software product is built. Moreover, the characteristics of the software project is it should be correct. The information which is mentioned in the SRS document must be correct, unambiguous. Unambiguous means the detailing we are mentioning in the SRS document should be very clear and easily understandable for the customer as well as the client side. It should be complete. Complete means the information which are mentioning, it should cover all the requirements and SRS specification in detail, whether it is its scope, its purpose, its objective, its design and implementation, and user feedback requirements. The SRS should be traceable. If assume that we are developing a software and we are approaching towards the software development completion, but on the basis of the user requirements we have to move back. If you suppose we are using waterfall or agile model and we have to come back and make some changes in the software product, so until unless we will not be able to trace the software SRS requirement, that where we have mentioned what, it's going to be next to impossible to give the software quality assurance to the customer. The SRS should consist of this following two requirements, which is functional and non-functional requirements. Functional requirements involves the statements of the services that system should behave in a particular situations. Whatever the technical requirements of the software, it all mentioned in the functional requirements. Non-functional requirements are the constraints of the services offered by the system. Moreover, the software requirements is a subfield of software engineering, deals with the elicitation, analysis, and specifications. The requirement we are gathering from the customer side should be analyzed effectively, that in what way we are transforming the user requirements in a technical domain so that it should be effectively implemented in the software product. And specifications. The verification and specification of the requirements mentioned in the SRS document must be effective. It is the fundamental document which bridges the gap between the customer requirement and developer being. What the customer wants, it properly mentioned in a very unambiguous manner in the SRS document, so that the developer can easily estimate what is the customer needs. Overall, the SRS includes the introduction. Introduction part, we have the purpose of the software is mentioned. Then the proper documentation detailing of the software is mentioned. Conventions, product scope, and reference. In overall description of the SRS, it is the perspective of the product functionality constraints, in what platform or environment, it is a business intelligence or a database environment or a network terminologies environment, in what environment the software product is going to be established. Design and development constraints, user documentations, assumption and documentations. In the next part of the SRS document, we have the several other requirements, such as external interface requirement. In this, we have user interface, hardware interface, and software interfaces. User interface means that if the user is technically able to operate the software. Hardware interfaces, in which hardware requirement or the other budgeting should be needed for the software installation. What are the programming languages and other software requirements to develop the software? Other non-functional requirements are performance and requirements. What are the security firewall measures we are taking to secure our system? Security management plans, software quality attributes, how we are ensuring the quality of the software, and business roles and models. What business model, whether it is an enterprise resource planning software or whether it is an e-commercial based software. So these entire requirements are mentioned very precisely in the SRS document, so that to ensure that the software project does not go failure in further procedure. That's all for the today.